It's 12 a.m. Hey guys, I just wanted to catch you before this video started, or maybe it already started, whatever. I wanted to let you guys, as a reminder to you guys, that this series, I already know this series, unlike Grindhouse, I already know this series will be short-lived because there aren't that many exciting stories I would like to tell from my past years. So, I already know it's supposed to be short-lived, so if it ends like how Grindhouse ended, if it ends like really shortly and everything, then don't be sad about it because, like I said, I already expected this was gonna be very short lived. So anyway, that's all I wanted. So please continue and enjoy the video. I'll see you in the video. Hey guys, welcome back to Matt's House of Horror, and today it's not midnight, but I do have but I'm recording a midnight vlog earlier. You see I got my hair cut and I got some new headphones. These are headphones that like help those who are in the sound editing business for like movies and stuff concentrate only on whatever they're editing. And they're actually Russian. But anyway, enough about that. I have another story time and I want to remake this because I'm starting to remember a lot of it more, because I made a video like this about this earlier, but I just never released it. I thought maybe I'll just remake it. So this is a story time. So what I'm calling this is a little what you call it? A little midnight vlog, little series, which is midnight vlog story time. And so that is if I start to think about like this memory of like a story or something that I went through, and for some reason I just started to think about that. I feel like I have to talk about. I want to talk about it. I'm gonna make it here, but the thing is, I don't know if I'm gonna release this one. I don't know, and I might, but I don't know how long I'm gonna keep it for. So this is about my catechism days. So yes, I had catechism before, but it's not the catechism I had in Clifton. Sorry, I'm just trying to remember a lot of things. As I probably told you guys before, the towns of both Morenci and Clifton, they're kind of like connected. Clifton is like on the bottom. Morenci is like this hill town. It's like on a mountain, whatever. It's like, they're really close together, but they're separate towns. Like, from Clifton to Morenci, it's like probably a 5-minute drive. So, anyway, I used to go to the catechism in Clifton, alright? But about possibly late 2016, early 2017, I started going to the catechism in Morenci. And I'm going to talk about the catechism in Morenci, because the catechism in Clifton was awesome. That was fine. I had no problems with it. So mostly it's not like a story to talk about. But however, the catechism Morenci, what a wild ride that was. So I'm gonna start talking about, like, the first 2 or 3 months of it were fine. They were awesome because, we were getting taught a lot of things. We were getting taught how to work together as a team. We were doing all these fun activities. And, like, the first day was, like, literally a race. And I was pretty cool. Alright, and so it was pretty cool. The first 2 to 3 months, they were pretty awesome. They're pretty sweet. Then it kept going on. And do any of you know, like, when somebody lies to you, like you're friends with somebody or people that lie to you a lot, so many times you kind of get an itch, like, oh, I already know you're lying to me. Do any of you people know about that? Like, know that or anything? Do any of you like go through that or something like that? I don't know, but I kind of used to have a friend. Me and Christian used to have a friend who would lie to us almost 24/7. And I also had other friends who would, like, lie to me, too. So, I kind of got that itch. And so, whenever I heard a lot of these, like, after, again, the first 2 or 3 months of this catechism class, I started hearing about a lot of the lessons that were being taught. And I started thinking, it sounds like Now they're just making up like lessons and everything going along. Like they're making a lot of this stuff up. It sounds like bull crap. Like, okay, so here's one story. And okay, so sorry, but I actually tend to try to forget a lot of this. So sorry if my memory is still a little bit foggy, but there was this day. There was it was a catechism class. Because let me tell you, there's two things. There's another class. There's two catechism classes. Okay, sorry. There's two catechism classes. Okay, and usually all of them would last about at least 4 hours. Like both combined would last 4 hours. Then we would go to a church. Then we go to church like right after. All right. Anyway, so there was a catechism class. Okay, it was one day. I don't remember which day it was. I think it was like the day before. Like I don't know. The day before I oh, what's the word when you get taken out? Maybe it's called getting taken out, or yeah. Before I was taken out of catechism, I think this was like one of the many Sundays before that, and it was so we were having this class and we were talking about this prayer that's supposed to be like a healing prayer or something like that. So actually, we're getting taught about two healing prayers. So the first one, they had us almost experiment with it, kind of. That's what I thought. I felt like, oh, it's like an experiment. See if it actually does something. And so we go into the church in a circle, and then one of the teachers starts to say the prayer, and kind of starts to tear up and everything. I was like, what the? And then she started crying. It almost like seemed like she started crying. Oh yeah. Sometimes, have you ever heard of this? Like, have you ever heard of lying to yourself? Where it's kind of like you're lying, but you don't know you're lying, almost like. I believe that's a good way to explain it. That's kind of like what I thought, because this seemed like it was so weird and just bizarre that, like, oh, why is she crying? Okay, it's like, why is she crying? She was telling us, like, please rid the darkness out of your soul or something. I was like, what? And then, like, before the climax of it, she kept saying, like, if there's anyone here who ever had thoughts of depression and like maybe suicide or something, and I was like, what? It almost felt like exposure to me, because, like, not every kid is this well blessed angel. No, there's gonna be a lot of kids who are gonna, if they hear about this, they're gonna spread a rumor, and knowing most elementary school students and most high schoolers, when you spread a rumor, a lot of them start to think of it as gospel, and then you start to get picked on. And it felt so weird. I was like, what the hell is this? And, everyone has problems. Everyone has problems like depression and all that. But I felt, because, little secret I had back then, I had a lot of those problems. I did have a lot of those problems, okay? I'm not going to say what they were, but I did have a lot of them. But I decided, since this felt so much like exposure, I'm not going to go up. I'm not going to do this. I'm not. So, yeah, and because if they... Hold on. Sorry, I'm starting to sound a little gibberish. At the beginning, the very first day, at the beginning of every catechism class, they always say if you have a problem or something, like, even if it's just mentally or something like that, they're also counselors, so you can just say after class and you can talk to them in their office and everything. So, I expected, okay, so they want to help. But this felt more like some weird group therapy thing, and it was so weird. It was totally bizarre. So then later that day, we were getting taught another healing prayer. And this time we're going to say it like, we're going to keep repeating it. It was in the form of a song, and we're going to keep repeating it at the beginning of the day of church. So we go in there, perform, we set up and everything, then we kneel and start doing it. And I remember, I just felt like really antsy and angry and everything. Because, like, first of all, it felt like we were kneeling for hours saying this stupid song. And yeah, I say stupid song because that's how I felt. It was a stupid song. I was like, oh, come on, really? Like, my knees started to hurt. I was really just wanting to leave. And apparently, according to my mom, because my dad had to work, so according to my mom, there were a lot of other kids in there that were crying. Or not, like, fully, bawling their eyes out, but, like, sniffling and almost starting to have tears go down their eyes. And I thought it was kind of weird. And I guess a lot of people were telling her, like, do you remember yesterday? Or, yeah, because, right, sometimes she works on Mondays, but, like, a lot of them will say, like, do you remember church on Sunday? Yeah, and then now, like, a lot of them will say, like, it felt like a weight's been lifted on me or something. A lot of them will keep saying, like, it felt like a weight was lifted off all of this. And it was kind of weird because she felt like that too. And then I think, like, since a lot of people were suffering, apparently a lot of the students were, like, suffering from depression. It felt like maybe because since they were looked like they were sad, looked like maybe their depression was almost like they're just releasing it. And maybe because I was, like, a little angry. I was kind of angry a lot. I suffered from anger. So I think it was like getting released. It was weird. Totally weird, but I don't say it's a bad weird. I thought, that's actually pretty cool. I didn't think of it like that. I remember the next, like, week or so, I was so calm. I was like, yeah, I wasn't, like, all antsy or anything. I was just so totally calm. Alright. Then, they kept going by and everything, and a lot of the things I don't remember, so there might be a little more bizarre things, but I remember this one for sure, because it was probably the most bizarre, most bullcrapish story they ever gave us. So, this happened in the second catechism class, and we're sitting there, and they're giving us this little lesson thing. The lesson was why it's important to go to church, I guess. And I was like, oh, okay, if you're in a religion, I'm not saying you don't have to be a religion. I mean, yeah, atheists are weird, but if you're, like, as long as you don't judge others by their religion, you don't have to be in a religion. But anyway, back to the thing. So I thought, okay. So we're going to learn why it's important for those who are in a religion to go to church or something. The first thing that came out of, like, the first sentence that came out of our mouth. If you don't go to church, believe it or not, you are going to go to hell. And I thought, what? Literally, this is my face, like, what? What? What kind of bullcrap is this? And she kept explaining, like, because something's yada yada yada. If you don't go to church ever, like, you just miss one day of church, you're gonna go to hell. And I thought, oh my god. And that's like I looked like everyone was digging it, like, oh, this is actually pretty true. But then, like, if you ever been to a movie where it's like you're just sitting there, everyone else is like, oh yeah, it's awesome, but yeah, you're just sitting there like, what kind of stupidity is this? Well, it's kind of like me. Like, everyone's like, oh, okay, so, okay. But then I was like, this is bullcrap. And then one of them gave an example, some bullcrap story, saying, like, the story was that an old lady went to church while her family supported, get that, listen to that, supported their children at a baseball game. And so they had to miss it because the baseball game was on the same night of the church ceremony. So they had to miss it. And the old lady decided, since they didn't make it, I'm going to drive by their house and yell at them, you're all going to go to hell because of that. And it's like, and it sounded like, it's bullcrap, because it sounded like, so if you work, if you're sick, you're in the hospital, and you are completely innocent, yet you can't make it to church because, like, illness, work, support. You're supporting your family. You're gonna go to hell and burn for an eternity? What? And I was like, okay, I need to tell my mom this now. I nearly need to tell my mom this. So we were out when church got out, and it was me, my mom, and my dad. We're all three of us were driving back to the house. She told me something that made me really happy, because I didn't want to be a part of this bizarre fest, as I called it. She told me she was gonna take me out of catechism. And I said, really? And so of course I asked why, and she said, because they gave her some bullcrap thing saying like, because it was like a school thing, yet to be accepted as like in your religion or something, you had to go and like send like letters, like you have to give a report to this pope guy. Not the Pope, but he is a Pope, and he's like a Pope guy and everything. And you had to get reports to him. So, I guess, like, I was failing, apparently. I wasn't doing a lot of the things or anything that they required. I was failing. So, sorry. So, she said that, like, she tried to say, well, can he, like, do a lot of this? And they were saying that in order for me to be accepted, quote unquote, accepted, I had to take the entire, all those lessons and everything I just did, I had to take the entire thing again. And then try to do what I was currently doing, the lessons I was currently doing at the same time. And it was like, oh my god. So she was like, no, you're not gonna do it. And that's why I said, like, this bullcrap thing they told me and everything. Like, literally, this bullcrap story, I kept thinking about, like, oh my god. What kind of catechism class makes up their stories to try to, like, it's almost like they're trying to keep, like, okay, sorry. It sounded like they're trying to force the kids to stay in the church. And I was like, oh my god. Wow. It's almost like they're desperate to, like, keep their kids there and keep them going to church and everything. That they started to make up, like, oh, if you don't go to church, you miss one day, you're gonna burn in hell for an eternity. Like, jeez. And then I started to think it felt like a cult. And, sorry, my tablet fell. Anyway, so it felt like a cult. And, like, currently I'm not part of it. I only, like, a lot of times if I even see, like, the teacher, it's how bad it was. If I see any of the teachers sometimes in, like, the local grocery store, I try to avoid them or anything, because it's like, it's too painful to remember. But I decided, you know what? I decided to tell it here. So, yeah. Oh my god. What a cult. What a weird experience. I've never experienced a catechism that was quite as bizarre and fascinating as this was. What an experience, I swear. Like, I don't know anymore. I don't know. And, yeah. Again, what an experience. Oh, yeah. I remember, too, that they're also saying that if you missed one day of catechism, you'd burn hell. No, I'm just kidding. But still, they're saying if you missed one day of catechism, that would be like, I don't remember what they said. I forgot they said, mostly don't miss a single day of catechism, else something would happen. I forgot. I think mostly you'd have to take the entire thing over again or something like that. And I missed a lot. There were a lot of times I said, I don't feel like going, and then so I convinced my mom and dad not to take me and all that stuff, and I didn't feel like going. So yeah. Anyway, that's it for today. If you guys like these, please leave a comment down below. If you guys have a bizarre story you wish to tell, also leave that in the comments down below. I like to read them. And while you're down there, please click that little button that says like, and also click that big red button that says subscribe. And I'll see you guys next time in the shadows. Goodbye.